Hello everybody, this is Miles Luigi, welcoming you to Let's Play Metroid Fusion, and you might notice from the title, wherever YouTube put it, top, down, left, right, that we will be doing a 1% playthrough of Metroid Fusion. So, this is a project that has been in the working. I planned on starting it last February, and then real life got in the way, and now we're back to Metroid. Haha. For people who are around with me for my Metroid Zero mission run, we're in for some fun, especially since I've definitely played Metroid Fusion less than Metroid Zero Mission. This game wasn't necessarily the best at, replayability, though it's definitely a really good Metroid game, as we have seen, oh no, something wrong has happened, and smash, and you would think Samus would die from an impact like that. That obviously was not pretty good. That gives you an idea of what we're going on here. For those of you who are keeping track, especially since we're beginning a big story dump here as to where this Metroid game takes place, this is actually, canonically, at least at the time they were recording this video, the last Metroid game in the entire series, all put together. This game was supposed to be taking place after Super Metroid, and the idea behind the sequence was that you had Metroid 1, defeat the Metroids, Metroid 2, you know, that baby thing, and Metroid 3, Super Metroid, the awesome Metroid game, and then this Metroid game. So I guess even though I don't have as fond memories of this Metroid game as I did with Zero Mission, there's nothing wrong with it. It's actually a really good Metroid game, though it does certain things different that I guess I can understand why some people weren't so happy with it and it didn't necessarily sit with them correctly. But me, I'm like, yeah, sure, I like it. I suppose now as the story is going along, if you want to, pay attention to the story, Samus is just gonna textually monologue, and now that I've played the Forbidden Metroid game, I can't help but think of her speaking all of this in a very monotone voice. You know, that darn Metroid game, Mom, Metroid Other M, really has ruined certain aspects of this game. And this game really doesn't deserve it because it's actually decently good, you know? Anyway, let's not think about that. As for what I'm going to be doing, I will be doing a 1% run, which is kind of the closest thing you can get to what I did with Metroid Zero Mission, where I sequence broke the shit out of it. There isn't really sequence breaking per se in Metroid Fusion. Matter of fact, some people have even found ways to sequence break Metroid Fusion, and it turns out Metroid Fusion doesn't even let you do that, because then you end up just picking up an item in a different area that was your next item you're going to pick up anyway. And you have to do some really ridiculous things to be able to do it, so instead we're going to be going with the game's kind of challenge run, which is a 1% run. Now you might be wondering, 1%, you're not going to pick up any items? Well, actually this game counts items a little bit differently. Your power-ups, you know, your morph ball, your whatever beam, and your missiles, and your screw attack and whatnot, that actually does not count towards your percentage in this game. What does is the billions of missile upgrades and power bomb upgrades and energy tanks that you get through here. And oh lord, those energy tanks are easily what hurt the most to not pick up. Like, not picking up missiles you can get by, because ultimately our beam's going to become decently powerful and a good weapon to use against bosses. And frankly, you do not need the billion power bomb upgrades that Metroid Fusion throws at you, but the energy tanks really hurt, because especially late game, I'm only going to be able to take like maybe one hit, and then after that I'm immediately dead, and that's just through regular transversal. And then I'm going to have to deal with really, really difficult bosses. One in particular is a nightmare, literally, and I don't even know how I'm going to be able to do that, because I have not done a 1% run of Metroid Fusion. But the way I see it is that this will just be, your casual 1% playthrough. That's kind of my goal here, is to be that person who, likes Metroid and will do a little bit more with Metroid. If you're in for super quality, high, super, speedrun level gameplay by masters of Metroid Fusion, this is not the playthrough you're looking for. Also, if you're looking for the blind playthrough of the person who's never played Metroid Fusion, was like, oh my gosh, like, look at this, the X-Parasites, you're also not in the right place. I hope to kind of be that middle ground person. That's actually a comment that someone posted in my Metroid Zero Mission playthrough that I actually really like, that correctly describes what I'm going here for. I'm going for a slightly more advanced playthrough, within the realm of reason, not the super duper massive speedrun play for hours a day to get good at the game. That's not where I am at. So Anyway, I guess to summarize the story, if you were not paying attention to Samus's monologue here, is that, you know, she's been infected by X-Parasites, and they literally had to recreate her suit, but she has now been reborn, and now we're going to be transporting over to the BSL research station to, you know, do a little bit of investigative work on the space station, so... And we are going to be having a computer to help us out, I guess because the Federation doesn't want us to go completely solo. Samus has proven herself so well at going on solo missions, and I guess they are selling us by ourselves, but we do have a robot to guide us along our way. I guess that's to make her a little bit more effectual, have kind of a comrade here to help her out. A robot. How wonderful. So, the mission. Yep, here we go. New computer, following the commands. Condition of taking the ship. Well, at least Samus explains it. Here we go. To BSL we go. So at least for probably the first third half of the game, I won't be feeling too much pain from the 1% playthrough, but that is definitely going to be changed. You guys are definitely in for a wild ride of frustration later down the road. I can practically guarantee that. Alright, but things are going to be easygoing as we start here. As we have scanned in the map, we have kind of a good idea of where stuff is, but it's not that Metroid Fusion shows the map as like, yeah, here's the map. There is definitely hidden areas to go here, so as we'll learn pretty quickly. Anyway, we have to make our way to the quarantine bay. Move quickly and quietly. Ugh, yes, new suits. Looks like we lost all of our power-ups again. You know, I frankly don't even think Metroid games coming up here should really need to explain themselves. So they're just like, yeah, you lost your power-ups. Okay, good, yeah, you have to go get them. Like, they come up with some weird excuse. And this game actually has a decent excuse. You had to get an entirely new suit installed to be able to, like, survive Samus. On the bright side, we at least have the power grip, you know, from the get-go, and that's not even one of our abilities listed here. We literally just have 99 energy, which, by the way, that's all the energy we will ever have. You know, we can play this game kind of like, now I know the game doesn't let you deviate too far, but because it lets me jump up here, it appears that we cannot enter any doors at all. Nope. So I guess we should probably just make our way to the navigation room. Yeah, here I am thinking, ooh, a little bit of exploration. That is one thing that Metroid Fusion does, is it does kind of tell you, you know, this is where you need to go, this is your objective. But once we start getting into things, you know, and once you start getting into the sectors, it does actually let you explore a little bit. It's definitely a little bit of hand-holding to start things off, no more fallibility. But it does let you explore a little bit, and I gotta say, my funnest times playing Metroid Fusion was probably actually after you do get all the power-ups and being able to go back to all the areas and try to get all the secret stuff. That's probably my best memories of stuff. And that's the X-Parasites. Those things are evil and dastardly, and I killed that monster, and the X-Parasite goes flying away. Way to go, Samus. Well, so much for the quarantine bay as well, as that door like had me literally quarantined with that X-Parasite, except the X-Parasite got away. How dare we? We have unleashed something pretty horrendous onto the ship, haven't we? Yes, we have. Let's console the navigation and be like, yeah, we messed up. Yep, unfortunate news. So we learn how dastardly this X-Parasite is here. So, you know those Metroid things that we tried getting rid of from the galaxy because they were evil? Well, it turns out that they were actually the natural predator to these parasites, which are even worse than Metroids. So this is why, like, exterminating a species is probably not a good idea. So, but on the bright side, because we have Metroid DNA, these guys will actually be our power-ups. They will be our health, and they will later on actually be our missiles, and I believe they also do power bombs. They do everything, so they are basically our friendly guys. How about that? Our chance of a survival is extremely low. Well, but we must go on to the mission, So instead of missile doors and stuff like that, we're actually going to get different security clearances and security levels to be able to go through. So we have unlocked the level 0 security doors, which lets us open a room such as this. There we go. So yeah, the yellow X-Parasites gets us health, so that's definitely very appropriate here, and we're going to definitely take advantage of our first save room here. Let's go ahead and continue on here. This is definitely way too short of an episode if I were to just cut it off here. It would have just been all story and monologue, and come on, Miles Luigi, I actually want to see some action. Oh, we'll get some action. We're going to see if we can fight our first boss without me messing up. Alright, so we're going to jump up here, and here's another navigation room. I kind of know where I'm going. We can download our weapon data. Okay, so it's good to know that if we had a USB stick with all of our abilities, we could just be fully powered up. Oh, with missiles, our chance of survival climbs up to 20%. Good to know. I wonder how that's calculated. Some complex algorithm that goes chance of survival equals all of these variables. And what's in this room here? This room is a severed cable that is preventing me from advancing forward. Okay. Well, I probably don't want to mess around with those cables, get electrocuted or something. Instant death, that would be no good. And you look like you could be something later on. I'll have to keep that in mind. Alright, into the elevator shaft we go. Oh, Adam. We have Adam to blame for being the computer to direct us out. Out of a little bit of irony, yes, I agree. Let's always refer to him as Adam. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and go into this room. This is another one of those rooms that's, well, it has a recharge room and a save room that we can take advantage of. Not that we have anything to recharge, really. Nor is there really much point to save, because we did just save and just kind of run here, so... instead, we're just going to listen to all the computers just whir like computers. I don't need to have Adam tell me to go into the data room. We're just going to go into the data room and let's download, well, at least our missiles. Missile data downloaded. Now we can fire missiles. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Now I'll have to remember, if I'm ever in a situation like Samus, to always have all my abilities like backed up, like to the cloud and to USB disks, so that if I ever lose all my abilities, I can just re-download them. That'd be such a theory. Download all my abilities to the cloud. So our target, we gotta get there, but unfortunately we've ran into a problem, so we'll have to use recharge rooms or absorb a special type of X-Parasite to recharge missiles. Our missiles are our only hope, actually, so definitely got to take advantage of the 10 missiles we'll have. So you might be wondering, so Miles Luigi, pickups, you know, are the only thing that adds to your count, so why 1%? And that is something that we'll answer later down the road, actually. There is a quote-unquote mandatory power-up later on. And I say quote-unquote mandatory because people are actually crazy enough to have figured out that it's not actually mandatory if you have, like, inhuman ability to get past said power-up, but you are otherwise intended to pick up the power-up, really. So that's where the 1% and 1% run comes from. And I think it's best to... Oh, damn it all. Natural instincts kicked in. I'm gonna have to restart. Wow. Miles Luigi, you're doing a 1% run. What are you doing? I should have saved, shouldn't I? I'll be right back, everybody, because I'm gonna have to get past my mental block of picking up power-ups, because that's a strong mental block. I'll be right back. Okay, I have to quash all of my instincts to pick up that missile tank to be able to complete my 1% playthrough. Oh, Lord. It's like I can even go into this room, and I believe there's a secret up here. Yep. Oh, man, that instinct is a really strong one, everybody. I swear to goodness, that's probably going to happen a few more times in this playthrough. So I'm just going to look at a power-up, and I'm just going to be like, oh, my natural reflex is to just pick that thing up. It's going to be like that issue I had with the charge beam, if you saw my playthrough of Metroid Zero Mission, where I'm just going to instinctively be like, man, I want to pick that up. Man, I want to pick that up. Why did I leave that? Ugh. And I'm just going to be like, hello, power-up, bye, power-up. All right, so let's try not to let the zombie come back to life on top of me. So now we have the eye doors of doom. Hey, try to either shoot or reveal yourself, please. Okay, you can only shoot so many times. Show me your eye. Thank you. There we go. And let me actually hit you. Don't. Okay. See, that's the thing with eye doors, is that they themselves are almost their own little boss. But thankfully, we defeat the eye door. They actually give you a red X-Parasite, which gives you like a refill. In my case, it'll basically just refill everything. But if you're playing with power-ups, it will not refill everything, but it'll refill a good part. But it's like this energy tank I actually have to go out of my way to not pick it up, like I just did. Alright, so now we have come up to our first boss of the game here, and this boss, his name is Arachnus X. So, I'm just gonna unload like a ton of missiles with him and then dodge everything, because I'm normally supposed to have 199 health for this guy, not 99. So I'm gonna have to be really careful here. And I'm just gonna let him, come on. There we go, walk over here and then... No. Alright. Alright, we got him down. Now, after every boss, we gotta deal with the Core X here, where we have to fire missiles at the thing that kind of gravitates through you. So you have to imagine you are the sun, that is the earth, don't let the earth run into you. Okay, good. That wasn't too bad. That got us our morph ball ability. So Arachnus X, just make sure you climb up onto the ledges and jump off of them and shoot at them until he starts shooting shit at you, and then go over to the other ledge, and you should be relatively okay. I do know, like, casually whenever I've played this game and haven't really been paying attention to Arachnus X, I've definitely gone, like, under, the first energy tank before, and, like, if I would have done that with the more energy that I have, I would have been totally dead, so, a good first boss, though, to get you into the hang of things. Later bosses are not going to be so peachy-rosy and so forgiving, though, with their attack patterns, and I'm going to have a very, very keen memorization of their patterns, and it's going to be incredibly painful. If you wanted to see Miles Luigi in pain, well, this is a Let's Play for you. Man, I'm gonna have pixel perfection when those times come. Regardless, let's go ahead and talk to Adam, and Adam should tell us to go to Sector 1, and I think, you wanna know what? Why don't we head to Sector 1 and then we'll call it apart. So we have unfortunately learned, oh no, we have unleashed the X-Parasites onto the breeding ground. In this case, Sector 1, which is supposed to be like SR 388. So our objective is clear, we must go there. So, use the next navigation proof for more briefing. I think I understand. I'm to exterminate this thing. That's something that Samus gets called on to do a lot. Ooh, I can go into this room. This room's bad for us. Ugh. So that's the thing about having Metroid DNA that the game hasn't explained to us quite yet. By the way, there's a power-up for this room that I have to ignore. Is that because we have Metroid DNA and Metroids hate cold, we hate cold, actually. Cold is just as bad to us as hot, actually, is the thing. So, in any case, let's go ahead and make our way over to Sector 1, and, nothing's gonna happen on the way to Sector 1, right? Right? Oh, shoot. I feel like, you know how, like, the Terminator is like the Terminator, but then there's, like, the T-1000, who's, like, a significantly better model, like, Terminator than you, who could easily kick your butt. That's kind of the sensation that I have right now, where it's like, yes, I'm Samus, I'm amazing, but oh gosh, there's something more amazing running amok in this ship that I hope we don't run into. But in any case, here's Sector 1. Here's what we'll be taking care of on the next episode of Let's Play Metroid Fusion 1%, where we're definitely going to be getting much more into game and less into story, so Now listen closely. This is what we're going to be doing next time. Atmospheric stabilizers. So we'll have to clear all of them, and our objective is clear. So let's get moving. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Join me next time. This has been Miles Luigi for Let's Play Metroid Fusion 1%. See you then.